In just a matter of days, you'll be able to get the updated version of the COVID-19 booster shot. The CDC cleared the updated Pfizer and Moderna boosters on Thursday, which specifically targets the Omicron subvariants. The FDA signed off on the shot on Wednesday. The booster comes just in time for the new school year and an anticipated new wave of COVID infections in the fall and winter. Joining me now is Dr. Erwin Redlener. He's the founding director of the National Center for Disaster Preparedness at Columbia and an MSNBC public health analyst. Doctor, thanks for joining me. So tell us, who's eligible for this booster and when should folks get it?
Hi, well, happy to be with you. So this is actually a pretty big development. It's a new booster that's based on the new variants of Omicron, and theoretically will have an advantage over the older versions right now. So who's eligible? It depends, first of all, if your original vaccines, or you get the vaccine made by Pfizer or Moderna. If you've gotten Pfizer, or you're going to get Pfizer when you go to the pharmacist or go to the doctor, then you need to be 12 or older. For the Moderna version of the same vaccine, you need to be 18 or older. And you need to be at least 2 months after your last shot. And that goes whether you had just the primary series before or you had a single booster already. In either case, waiting at least 2 months, and it could be longer, it could be up to 6 months. However, Julian, if you have risk factors like you're an older person, or you have immune compromise or a chronic illness, you may need to get your shot sooner rather than later, and that's more or less the general rules. I'm sparing you the back and forth and the controversies associated with this, but I think what I'm saying is probably the summation of what the good recommendations are.
Now, let me ask just about one detail there. Pfizer's booster is authorized for people 12 and up, while Moderna's is authorized for people 18 and up. Why the disparity there, and when will younger kids likely be eligible for the booster?
Well, it's a good question. The disparity has to do with some of the ways they've tested, and especially the way they've reported their data. You know, they don't collaborate really, and some of these details are left to the findings, and they have to get the FDA approval before they go to the CDC. And in that process, the company themselves is suggesting the 12 or the 18-year eligibility. I think all that's going to change, and then we'll end up in the same place with both of those boosters before too long. We're still waiting to get a final word on whether people under 50 can get a fourth shot. That'll add another element to this whole discussion about when and how to get the booster shots.
And what should people do if they recently received a COVID booster? Somebody recently got one and now they say, hey, I want this one because it's specifically targeted at this Omicron subvariant. What should they do? How long should they wait?
Sure. So a lot of people are going to see this new vaccine and think that it covers the Omicron variants better than the original vaccines, and there's truth to that. How much better? I mean, that's still debatable, but definitely at least somewhat better. And people are there may be people who say, I really want this one, even though I had another booster earlier. If they wait somewhere between 2 and 6 months, I'm telling you now as a physician, I think they should be eligible to get that vaccine. And the reason is that a lot of us are expecting a pretty severe winter when it comes to another wave of COVID. So the extra protection is fine. There is a limit, though, to how many boosters you should get. And I think, and I hope there'll be more clarification from the CDC about that. For example, some people have already gotten their 2 basic shots and 2 boosters and may have had already at least 1 infection with COVID. And that's a question really should be discussed with your doc. And some doctors are going to say, well, wait a little while and get another one. Other doctors will say, well, when was the last shot you got? If it was, let's say, a year ago, which is possible, then holding off is probably better. I don't mean to be confusing about this. I'm just saying that this, in fact, is an issue that should be discussed with your doc.
Dr. Erwin Redlener, thank you.
Hi, Hi, I'm Zerlina Maxwell. Thanks for checking out our channel on YouTube. You can see more from Zerlina by clicking any of the videos on this screen, and make sure you subscribe below to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. Thanks for watching.